Hello, everyone. My name is Ndambuki. I am the IFPI Regional Director, Sub-Saharan Africa. It's a pleasure to be here today, and we'll be discussing about just Africa and whether it's the next big thing for the music industry. So allow me to begin by sharing my screen and my presentation. There we go. Oops. Okay. So yes, is Africa the next big thing in the global music market? Just a brief introduction of the Sub-Saharan Africa IFPI office, which was set up this year in July and oversees the implementation of IFPI's policy agenda, the recorded music business across the 46 countries in the region. So of course, because we have the 46 countries, we want to be able to prioritize for the first year to see how best we can be able to explore all our policies and our mandate. The priority countries are Nigeria, Kenya, Ghana, Uganda, Tanzania, and Botswana. And our offices are located in Nairobi, in Kenya, in Lavington. And as the office, we've also prioritized 6 or 5 main issues, key priorities for the region, which one is the policy and advocacy. And this, we're looking at more of treaty ratification, which is the WPPT, and looking at the value gap as well. Trade agreements, right now in Africa, we have the Africa Continental Free Trade Area that we want to be able to tap into to ensure that the recording industry needs are met. Bilateral agreements and FTAs, such as the current Kenya-US Kenya FTA and the UK-Kenya TEPA. So we have been involved in these discussions to just ensure that the recording industry needs are met. We are also, as the office, actually dealing with the establishment of the national groups, and these will be able to drive the recording industry agenda, mostly dealing with the policy issues, and just seeing how best we can be able to support the policy issues as well through the national groups. We're also supporting and enhancing MLC operations, and this, of course, is concentrating on ensuring that these MLCs, which are also the collective management organizations, around corporate governance and the licensing and distribution systems are functional and efficient. For content protection and enforcement, we have more of looking into the online content protection and enforcement and working with the governments in these countries. And we began with Kenya and Nigeria to just see how best we could be able to support the governments in ensuring that the piracy, online piracy, is covered. And lastly, the insights and analysis, where we're looking into having market data and charts as well, hoping to eventually have some charts for the African region. So that's just a snapshot of the office itself. Now to go delve right into the global industry markets, and we can see, of course, from the charts that it's recovering from a significant decline. And this, of course, is as of 2019, and we all know that 2020 has been difficult because of COVID as well. But as IFPI, we are collating the information and we have the annual reports. So I will speak as of 2019, when there was, of course, you can see a peak in terms of the industry market and the revenues from 2001 towards 2009. So it is the global industry is picking up. Of course, this year we might see a slight dip, but because of what has been happening around the world. And this growth in all the regions in 2019, as you can see, Africa and the Middle East actually a second in terms of growth at 15.9% and having an overall of $101 million US dollars. As you can see around the world, there's generally a growth, and the music industry is actually building up, and we know we could be able to tap into this as the African region. So what about investments in Africa, growing the music industry? Why Africa? We have that the record companies are driving the developments of digital markets worldwide. And investments from recording industries and in artists and local infrastructure driving development of local ecosystems is actually key and critical in just the ecosystem of the music industry. In Africa, I've just got some few snapshots of what's been happening, and you can see Sony Music opened the Nigeria office as it expands across Africa. Universal Music Group expands in Ghana and opening offices in Morocco and Israel. Def Jam Africa expands into Cote d'Ivoire, Senegal, and Cameroon. Kenya Afropop Star South Soul Inc. exclusive deal with Universal Music Africa. DJ Black Coffee acquires a major stake in Gallo Music Investments, and Warner invests in Africa-based music distributor Africori, launching a global partnership with them. So there is at least a movement. This is just a few examples to just show that there is some movements in terms of investing in Africa, and because the potential is great, you can see the growth at 15% and seeing that actually Africa is a place where we could be able to put our investments in. So going into the more, music sense of it, you can see that the various types of genres, you can say, in Africa, and stemming from Afrobeat. And some of these cut across, various regions in Africa, or countries in Africa, rather. We have Afrobeat, Nigeria and Kenya. We have Benga in Kenya. In Ghana, we have Benga in Kenya. We have Bongo Flava in Tanzania. Chimurenga in Zimbabwe, all the interesting types of genres that are in the various countries. At the same time, cutting across many countries, almost all countries, is Afropop, dancehall, gospel, hip hop, rap music, reggae, traditional and cultural music. So you can see Africa actually has a large, interface of various genres, and being able to, give a different feel, and it has something for everybody, basically. So just to go and just to see now, based on these genres, the major African artists and what they've been able to do in the last couple of years. You can see Burna Boy, a great artist from Nigeria, and he's into Afrobeat, and his Twice as Tall album released in August this year, and it's by Spaceship Entertainment, Atlantic Records, and Warner Music. The album had 40 million streams by September 25th and has topped the charts of the most streamed 2020 albums on Spotify. So you can see the growth that and the attention that the African artists are getting. Wizkid, again, Afrobeat from Nigeria. His fourth studio album, Made in Lagos, was released on October 29th this year to international acclaim, and the album debuted at number 3 on the most streamed Nigerian album on Spotify, streamed at 10.1 million times since its release. So a lot of interesting music, especially coming from Nigeria, and we can see other great artists, Tiwa Savage, again from Nigeria, Davido from Nigeria, Afrobeat, and Stonebwoy from Ghana, Yemi Alade, Nigeria, Shoma Josie from South Africa, who have some great hits and will be able to even search for their music later on. Diamond, coming to East Africa, Diamond Platnumz, a very big artist, Bongo Flava in Tanzania. He's a multi-award winning artist and songwriter. Mid this year became the first African artist to hit the 1 billion views on YouTube. So with other artists here, Ali Kiba from Tanzania, Eddie Kenzo from Uganda, Sarkodie from Ghana, very interesting musicians there, major artists from Africa. Coming home to Kenya as well, Afropop, they are multi-award winning Kenyan boy band, and they're boasting of 5 studio albums. We recently signed with an exclusive deal with the Universal Music Group. Well, the group's 5th studio album, Midnight Train, features big names such as Shoma Josie from South Africa, Burna Boy from Nigeria, and India Ree from the US. So you can see some sort of collaborations and mixture of cultures there as well, just showing, how the African music can be able to blend together with the US as well. Angelique Kidjo, Afrobeat, Afropop, and what fusion from Benin, a very renowned singer from Africa from, years back. And her 13th album, Celia, won her a 4th Grammy Award in the 2020 edition of the awards for Best World Music Album. And in 2007, Time Magazine named her Africa's Premier Diva. So quite some unique, authentic African music there. And lastly, and this is maybe one of the greatest songs that we've had this year, Jerusalem, that is, even has some dance moves, going all across the world, actually, by DJ Master KG, South African singer, songwriter, and record producer. And of course, he featured the vocalist Nomsebo. And Jerusalem has since its release in November 2019 gone viral and garnered more than 229 million views on YouTube. The song has topped at number 1 in Belgium, Netherlands, Romania, and Switzerland, and peaks top 10 in other European countries and US, and now signed to Electra and a Warner Music label in France. So as you can see, Africa is actually, going, beyond the borders and has, to actually reach out and is actually moving to become the next big thing. And just to wrap it up, we have, also Salif Keita, world-renowned Afropop artist from Mali, Baba, Mal, Yella, Walbeat, and from Senegal. All these are interesting, artists from Africa that have great music. Others, of course, as you can see there from Tanzania, Nandi, Harmonize, all these, Nigeria to Baba, Kenya, Ethnic Entertainment, Fena, Wahoo, Ghana, Efia, Shatawale, and DRC, so many great artists. Kofi Olomide has been there for a very long time. Very good music from artists from Africa. Others also are from Uganda, Bebeku, Zimbabwe, Shasha, South Africa. Very long list. And this is not an, there's so many more other, major artists and great artists, also upcoming artists doing great music that we could be able to tap into. So basically, how would we, moving forward, see these artists, gaining, that movement and being able to go out into the world is through these streaming services. And I've just highlighted a few of these services that are available, both local and international streaming services around sub-Saharan Africa, with examples of the 6 priority countries. You can see Kenya there, having the boom plays, international and also the local streaming services that are doing very well here. They can be able to at least hold the music and distribute music online. Nigeria, we have also boom plays in Dundo, Ziki, MTN. So many in Ghana as well. All these are available to be able to ensure that the streaming services, the music can be able to be accessible. Uganda as well, some of the streaming services are there, including Skiza, which is a local Kenyan from Safaricom telco from Kenya. CRBT, the coloring backtones, doing very well for the music industry. Tanzania, we have even the SoundCloud, Tigo Music, these Botswana, Apple Music, iTunes. So a lot of availability, of this music here. At the same time, it's critical to just ensure that there's a fair, there is a fair digital marketplace for this music to thrive. If you look at key policy principles for success, for example, music value, you see that both cultural and economic value must be recognized. Copyright frameworks must be clear and provide for legal certainty. Rights holders must be free to license, and that is actually decide on who can use their music and how, both online and offline. And adequate legal remedies must be available to prevent music from being made available illegally. So as I mentioned before, and this is what IFPI, the Sub-Saharan Office, is aiming to do, to be able to partner with both government and the private sector to ensure that we have the proper legal framework to be able to drive the success of the music industry, to drive and ensure that investments actually able to to thrive at the end of the day. So these thriving digital markets, we believe they need a fair legal framework, and that is as our priority of policy and advocacy. Implementation, as I said before, of the WIPO treaties, this actually provides a baseline, ensuring that the various countries are able to give that support to the rights holders to ensure that the music industry thrives. Full exclusive rights, including for broadcast and communication to the public, is critical. This gives the rights holders, a critical, hold on whether or not they can be able to allow their music to be used, the usage of their music, and the control that they need to be able to have to negotiate better deals for the use of their works. No flexible exceptions, which creates uncertainty, are open to abuse and undermine the balance in corporate frameworks. No overbroad liability privileges, which distort the markets, and you can see what's been happening. And of course, having a fair and effective ways to tackle illegal services that profit through large-scale copyright infringements, including interim measures, website blocking, and notice and stay down. So these are the issues that we're facing, and we want to be able to support and ensure that there's a thriving music industry, and especially as we move towards the digital market. And of course, we cannot, talk about, this year without talking about the impact of COVID-19. We know that, clearly all parts of the sector, for the music industry is affected. The restrictions that have been imposed to combat the COVID-19 pandemic have affected daily life in all aspects of the music industry. Having live performances have been difficult because of the restrictions that have been put in place. Being able even to collect in terms of the collective management organizations, having the restaurants closed, other restrictions being imposed in various countries has, really hit the industry hard. But, for IFPI, we're still a bit early for us to gauge, the full impact, as our reports, are usually on an annual basis. So sometime next year, we should be able to have done some full analysis and seeing the full impact of what COVID-19 has had in the music industry. But of course, we believe that the music industry is resilient and should be able to pick up and with all the investments happening right now, the industry is also campaigning for support, and national governments and other organizations have stepped in to actually help the creative sectors in many regions. So we do actually look forward to, the future of music, knowing that Africa is definitely, the next big thing, already the big thing from what we've already been seeing so far. An amazing time to be a music fan in Africa, more access to more music than ever before. We've seen the streaming services available all over, and actually also building on that, seeing various, being that Africa has, 1.2 billion people, and the penetration, internet penetration is actually at 26%. We have, usage, very, very high usage in terms of having the mobile phone. There's a lot of potential in terms of also the music usage, and tapping into this 1.2 billion market would be critical in terms of the music industry. So as we say that while COVID-19 will have an impact on the industry, the industry really has the building blocks for sustainable growth to the benefit of all those involved, be it the musicians themselves, or the producers, all the rights holders, basically the writers, and all the ecosystem towards the music industry. Africa does have a great potential, as we've seen, and now more than ever, we must have a conducive environment that will inspire the music business to the next level. And this is why we are working as IFPI with both the government and the private sector to ensure that the music industry is thriving. Sustainability, of course, for us would include having sound policies, proper laws and legislation, and this is critical in the African market. We're glad that so far the various policies and laws in place are actually working towards also improving and ensuring that the online space digital market is also making available rights, and including all these other provisions that will ensure rights holders are also able to make a living out of their music. So in a nutshell, we really encourage further investment onto the continent and the people of Milan and the world. We hope that we should be able to partner moving forward to ensure that there's a sustainable music industry in Africa. Thank you.